On this episode of Mythbusters,
We're about to drop an elevator. I'm beside myself.
going down in the elevator of death.
92 feet.
If something goes wrong, somebody could get killed here.
Can a well-timed leap of faith save your skin? And the myth of homemade flight. Jamie and Adam take wing in a levitation machine build-off.
How did I know Adam was going to cheat?
Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
and Jamie Heineman.
I kind of like it in here. It's private.
Between them, more than 30 years special effects experience.
Anything to say to the ducks back home?
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
Looks like we grabbed another one off the Discovery fan site this time.
Yeah, apparently a viewer saw an ad in the back of a magazine that advertised that you could build a levitation machine using 3 vacuum cleaner motors and it would lift 150 pounds.
A levitation machine.
A levitation machine.
The Mythbusters have dug one up from the good old days when a $1.50 bought you X-ray vision. Rubber vomit was 99 cents. And holy cow, a hovercraft cost just $5.50.
This story emerged from an ad from an old magazine. The idea is that anybody can create what is considered to be alternative technology in their own home, separate from big business and from government.
So in some dusty magazine, there are plans for a mythic self-propelling levitation machine made from ordinary household items like vacuums. Jamie and Adam never found those plans, but that won't stop them trying to build one.
Yeah, I think it's true. I know it's true. It's going to be something really fun to build. And I think Jamie and I can actually add something to the whole industry of vacuum cleaner levitation.
I'm reasonably certain that this myth is not true.
Jamie doesn't think it's true?
Pete Anderson is the vacuum man. He's been repairing these suckers for 30 years.
I fix 90% of the vacuums on the market, and you name it, I do it, you know. I can take them apart and put them back together in no time.
With such a wealth of knowledge, Pete wisely guards his secrets closely.
So, Pete, it sounds like you're rummaging around. Can we come back there?
No,
Please?
no.
Then we're coming in to get you.
Then I'll have the vacuums attack you.
Pete eventually weakens and agrees to reveal the secret of the vacuum cleaner pump. Adam is in heaven.
Right.
Then it shoots it into this one here,
Which pulls it in.
and then it directs this air right into this baby.
The magic of it all seems strangely lost on Jamie. Until...
Electricity, see if it works. Here we go. Got his tongue.
I got bit.
He got his tongue.
Bleeding.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the stupidest thing I've ever done.
I'm going to have to stitch your mouth shut, I think, for this.
Nah, you wish.
And that was the end of Adam's television career.
No. This is a show. It's like 4 minutes of science and then 10 minutes of me hurting myself.
Pete has seen a lot, but he's never seen anyone bitten by a pump before. This is clearly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
This is not enough. Come back and get some more.
Pete sold them as many of his old junkers as they can carry. The Mythbusters are now officially in the levitation business.
Do we suck or what?
Well, the myth says that you can levitate yourself with the motors from 3 vacuum cleaners. We've got about 20 here. So we'll see what we can get out of 3, and then we'll see where we can go from there.
And so begins the delicate job of extracting pumps.
I'm not destructive by nature. If you watch the time lapse of what we just did, he was the first one to take one of his vacuum cleaners and smash it on the ground. I just enjoy it. Do you ever see Jamie enjoy anything?
Now the Mythbusters have to turn destruction into construction.
Whoa, that's hardcore. Well, that'll never fly.
This is gonna fly inside of half an hour.
Adams rigged 3 engines together. They'll glue a bag to the base to harness the blowing power, cutting holes so it doesn't burst like a balloon. It all seems too easy.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Let's try it. Yeah, baby! Whoa! Oh, man, dude, that totally works.
It's a very un-Mythbusters-like moment. They've built an invention and nothing has gone wrong. Ah, that's more like it.
You want to lie there for a minute, or you want to get up?
Adam is soon back on that horse, and it seems they're riding a winner.
Oh, I think you're gonna have to hold me tighter, Jamie. I think we busted it. Well, I think that worked really well, actually. I see no reason that you couldn't call a hovercraft a type of levitation device. Yeah, I think we've definitely done something good here.
If they wanted to quit while they were ahead, this would be a good time. But of course, that won't happen.
I have gleaned a lot of information from this test, but I think I ought to keep it to myself. I think maybe you ought to take what you think you've learned from this test, and I'll take what I think I've learned from this test, and let us build our own machines and see how we can do against each other.
I'd say that's a wonderful plan, Adam.
The challenge is set. Who can build the best self-propelling levitation machine out of parts found around the home? It's a battle of wits and egos. But before construction starts, they'll drop in on another myth. It's one of the great what-ifs of modern living. What if the elevator you're riding suddenly plummets down the shaft? Can you save yourself? The Mythbusters are about to find out.
We're here investigating the elevator of death. Now, the myth goes that you're in an elevator, the cables are cut or something, you're plummeting rapidly towards the bottom of the elevator shaft, and right at the very last second, you jump as hard as you can, and that saves your life.
Oh yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
The Mythbusters need to drop an elevator down a shaft. Just before it hits bottom, the test subject will jump in the air. They'll measure his speed to see if he's avoided what seems certain death. First, a little expert instruction.
That's all your control wires. This is your traveling cable.
Lester Rappel has worked on elevators for 30 years, and he's not falling for this myth.
Well, if you're in an elevator, you're traveling at the same rate of speed, the same velocity as the elevator itself. So you're really not going to be able to overcome that physical fact.
What would you do if you were in a falling elevator?
I believe if I had presence of mind, I would probably try to lay myself down on the floor, assuming that I could get there, just to minimize the injury to my body.
Destruction seems assured. Jamie can't wait to scout a location. There's a fire training facility which sounds promising in Pleasanton, outside San Francisco.
This is quite a complex. They've got rooftops and whole buildings that they can burn down and put out. And of course, most importantly, this building has an elevator in it that drops 4 or 5 floors. I thought so. That's only 40 feet. Okay.
40 feet is an impressive drop. But for this myth, they're looking for something really special. Jamie's got a lead on a derelict hotel in nearby Oakland that's 8 stories high. He's checking it out with builder Carrie.
Is that it?
I I guess that's it. It's an 8-story building. Thank you, sir.
The grand old Hotel Royal was built around 1910. She ain't so grand anymore and is scheduled for demolition.
Oh my God. Since we're here anyway, can we film a horror movie?
Yeah.
They've found the elevator, but it's not going anywhere fast.
There's the motor. What's left of it.
It's an elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like steel. I don't know whether it'll stand up to a 8-story drop without crushing.
Getting the elevator working will be no small task. The cables haven't moved in years, and the motor is a wreck.
In theory, if we could tie power onto that, we would have a working elevator. The cables and everything are here. It's a little rusty, but if we can get it to work, it's going to be perfect. Sherry, we're going to go on up to the top, I think.
Don't leave me alone. Oh my God.
It's a long, long way to the top of the shaft. 8 floors, 9 counting the basement.
92 feet to the top of the pulleys.
92 feet to the dead bird.
A 92-foot drop, 1,500 pounds of elevator car. It looks like they have their location, but have the Mythbusters bitten off more than they can chew?
I don't know. It's kind of scary.
The levitation machine challenge is a go. In the red corner, Team Savage, Adam, Tori, and Christine. In the blue, Heinemann's heroes, Jamie, Scotty, and Carrie. Each has a budget of $500 and 2 days to build a flying, self-propelling levitation machine out of household items. Then they race for glory.
The secret plans are, we're gonna do 3 pads like this. We're gonna have a leaf blower back here. I got a whole bunch
So we're not using any of the vacuum motors? Okay.
No.
To improve stability, Adam's craft will have 3 connected bases, like lily pads. He'll mount the seat and engines on top.
Check it out.
And it will have a little more kick than your standard vacuum cleaner.
180 miles per hour, 360 cubic feet per minute.
Leaf blowers, 2 big, expensive ones. Adam's blown away his entire budget. And possibly Jamie, too. Adam's plan is for one blower to provide lift and the other propulsion.
The question is how to mount these puppies up so that 1, there's control, 2, there's some aerodynamics, 3, there's some stability. Like I want to be here.
Okay.
Christine's come up with a new, stronger skirt to capture the air.
Come on, machine, don't jam up on me.
I feel like I'm doing crafts in kindergarten.
In just 2 hours, Team Savage has the first pad ready to test.
All right.
You ready?
I think that's magnificent.
I think the distance is perfect, the buoyancy is great, and it's pretty darn stable for just 1 person in the center. 3 of these is going to be great. The thing is that this powers 1 beautifully, but it's got to power 3.
Adam has to split the airflow from 1 leaf blower to inflate all 3 pads. He'll divide the blast with pipe.
How do you like that? That'll do.
But is there enough lift? Adam's design might be stable, but it's also heavy. There's a steel frame holding the pads together and a seat.
Up and right there. Okay, close your eyes. Right
Wait. If you weld this, you're committed to this height of the chair.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a smart idea to put a pipe the same diameter as this?
Maybe.
And then we
you know
can
what? I can
adjust
just cut
it.
the weld. I can grind the weld. I can grind the weld. Place it up there.
This is what I have to deal with.
This is what it's like to work with me. We're going to get it done.
good.
Not that good.
The seat is not adjustable. It's a little too low.
See, look at all that extra room. All right, let's flip it on its back. Oh man, it's really heavy.
But could it be too much weight to levitate? The big race will be held on the beach. Before lifting a tool, Jamie's scouting the location. And he's inspired.
Have you ever heard of a thing called a hoverboard?
Jamie, the non-surfer, explains to Rob, the non-geek, what he has in mind.
So we're looking for a large board that we can mount some leaf blowers on the back for forward thrust and one on the top and the front to fill the airbag that lifts the thing.
And we also want it to look cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear Surfer Rob doesn't share Jamie's definition of cool, but a sale's a sale, dude.
How about this one?
Well, that's kind of hot looking.
It's 22 inches wide, 7'10".
I like it.
It's a bittersweet moment. Old Yella here will never see a way. But Jamie couldn't be happier.
Thank you. We've destroyed a lot of really nice things on this show. You know, Corvettes, home appliances, power tools, and now we're about to destroy a surfboard.
Jamie is planning the Heinemann hoverboard, a surfboard, blowers at the back for thrust, more at the front for lift, and the inflatable skirt. In his search for thrust, like Adam, Jamie has settled on leaf blowers. After the surfboard, he can only afford cheaper models and needs to check their propulsion power.
It's exciting.
Well, that ought to work. So let's fuel it up. This is easier than I thought.
This kind of looks like Wile E. Coyote or something, doesn't it?
This is officially the silliest rig in myth-busting history. It's taught them immediately that combining inline skates and a backpack makes Jamie giggle like a schoolgirl. The second lesson, this simple rig actually works. It's not fast, and it's not pretty, but it might just be impressive enough to scare Team Savage.
Well, you know, I'm glad he's not wasting his time or anything. I've got a nearly completed hovercraft in there. Jamie's like cruising with the girls. Look, just cruising with women. That's all he's doing. I don't have a damn thing to worry about.
His silly little backpack thing, he's like the hunchback of M5.
Jamie's team's already lost. They just haven't been informed yet.
To Adam's mind, propulsion will be a breeze.
Basically, I'm gonna be holding on to this thing, pointing it behind me. When I need to turn, I just turn it this way. I turn it that way. It's really simple.
Of course, the lily pad flyer is still heavy and still earthbound. It's time to rise and shine if they can.
It's totally stable.
They have liftoff.
It was actually very successful. I'm very pleased with it. Weight does not seem to be an issue with the leaf blower. It's got plenty of power to lift the weight we wanted to lift.
The hard part seems over for Team Savage. They're levitating like David Copperfield, and now just need to conjure up a little backdraft to get things moving. In Adam's mind, right now, he should be blowing along like the first leaves of fall. Team Savage has a problem. Fresh from their successful propulsion test, Heinemann's heroes are working on lift.
I'm about to be disowned by every surfer I know.
Old Yella is going under the knife. This hole is for the downdraft that will inflate their skirt.
Jamie, are you feeling confident?
Not at all.
It works. They have liftoff. But they also have a problem.
It's like practically impossible to keep it stable.
It's less hoverboard than wobbleboard.
You're gonna have to have a wider base. That's all I can say, because it's like trying to balance a board on a pole.
Jamie has a hunch he can steady the ship by adding an outrigger.
So this is a nifty invention.
This is actually going to work. And what I've done is I've put some additional support on the top of the bladder where it comes out from the side of the surfboard. And that'll keep it more stable because it can't roll around the edge of the surfboard now. It's got to be compressed. Still is a little bit tippy, but I think when we get a little practice, I should be able to kind of get nice and stabilized, and I think we're good to go.
The last component, thrusters, ×3.
You know, I kept saying that you were going to come up with something, but in the back of my head, I was going, eh.
Surf's up for Heineman's heroes. At the end of the first work day of the challenge, they have a flying, self-propelling levitation machine.
I don't know what the top speed on it is, but it was starting to take off there. And if we get the control set up on this, I think it's going to work like a dream.
In July 1945, a terrible tragedy at the Empire State Building gave rise to a miraculous survival story.
And an elevator plunged down 80 floors, cables and debris tumbling over it.
It was a drop of 1,000 feet, and inside, a young elevator operator. She was found alive in the basement by a heroic Coast Guardsman.
The girl inside was badly crushed and burned. I got her out, gave her morphine, and treated her wounds as best I knew how.
But how did she survive that crash? Did she jump up? It's something for the Mythbusters to ponder back at the Hotel Royal.
Found a bowling ball in the abandoned building. I've always wanted to drop one of these on a tile floor. Man, I thought it was going to shatter and break and do all sorts of dramatic things. Myth busted.
Now that wasn't much fun.
We've got the location, we've got our elevator shaft. I'm gonna go out and get all the rigging equipment that I need so that we can pull it to the top and drop it. You've got the hard job of getting Buster to jump at the last second.
This experiment has two engineering challenges. First, to figure out a way to raise and drop the elevator. Second, to rig the victim to jump up at just the right moment. Jamie, Carrie, and Scotty are dissecting the human jump.
All right.
In the short moment of acceleration, the average top speed generated was just over 8 feet per second. Now, they need the victim to replicate that. And here's the victim now.
I need to figure out how to make Buster jump. I think I'm going to have to use some kind of spring because I don't want to go for the gunpowder.
No gunpowder, good news for Buster. Instead, a kind of turbocharged pogo stick, a car spring inside overlapping tubes with a quick release catch. They'll rig Buster to sit on top. Scotty's specialty is working with metal. So in no time, she's created Buster's launcher.
Giant industrial Pogo stick. Nice.
The spring is tensioned, and the quick release set.
There you go.
There, okay.
Then Buster is lowered into place.
Now that looks like a good jump to me. I'm not sure, but I think we have a pretty good shot at actually launching Buster up in the air pretty good. It's a powerful spring.
It's time for Buster to fly.
Okay, here we go. Well, that wasn't very much at all. Okay.
Attempt 1 was more a jiggle than a jump.
What can I say? Gotta keep tweaking.
Adam, meanwhile, is looking for rigging, asking all kinds of questions salesmen don't hear too often.
I need to cut these cables and attach basically this quick release between the cables and my elevator so I can then drop the elevator. What would you recommend?
A career change, perhaps. But failing that, rigging salesman George Wong settles for cables and ties and double-strength doohickeys.
Okay. Hey, you gonna blow me up next? No, we're dropping an elevator today. Are you really? Yeah.
The whole experiment and the Mythbusters' safety will literally hang from this quick-release shackle. Everything has to be right.
That'll do it. That's perfect.
To reduce the pogo stick's weight, Scotty's cutting out as much of the heavy metal cylinder as possible. She's adding a second spring for extra power. And smearing the whole assembly with lard to cut friction.
Tastes like French fries.
It's like about a half pound of lard on there.
Well, when you have a giant box of lard, it's just so darn tempting.
Are we ready?
Face plant!
About 20 centimeters.
It's better, but still not near enough to a human jump.
About, I would say about here, which is low.
Well, one thing that I can see is that we want to get our gravity kind of directly above the spring a little bit.
Balance is one thing, but the real problem is power. Buster needs more spring in his step. If that spring is going to turn up anywhere, it'll be here, somewhere.
That looks like that would definitely fit in there. I probably have a pair of vice grips if you need them.
There we go. Drop. Got it.
Well, that looks like pretty perfect to me.
You like it?
I love it.
Did I do something good today?
You did great. Thank you. Good catch. Oh, yeah. Just fits. Yeah.
Buster may at last be ready for his great leap forward.
All right. Well, that was a good jump.
Spirits are soaring. Buster reached a maximum velocity of nearly 12.5 feet per second, compared to Jamie's 8 feet per second.
I think that's a good run. I think we're there. That was significantly more than what we got before. He looked like he jumped.
They've solved half the elevator of death problem. Getting the Hotel Royals elevator working again lies ahead.
Bye-bye. See you later.
But first, there's a little matter of a levitation machine build-off.
You can come on in and shoot, but you three have to go away.
We would change our plans after seeing yours.
Just want you to go away. She talks so much trash.
Team Savage needs to keep the lily pad flyer under wraps. It's showing all the mobility of a 2x4.
Today's task is to work on the propulsion of the hovercraft. You're going to start working on the pads, and I'm going to start working on the fan blades.
After laughing at Jamie's propulsion fixation, Adam needs to get his craft moving, and fast.
That's it. That's all that's moving the air.
His leaf blower needs more bite. Something like this. The fan will sit inside a metal shroud. Its blast directed by rudders at the back.
That's not dangerous. Oh my God.
It's fair to say this is not strictly design intent for a leaf blower. Adam's created a monster. Or is it just a monster problem?
Oh. No, no. That sounds bad. It's just too much torque for this motor. Please don't be too much torque for this motor.
It's too much torque. The tiny motor can't turn that big fan.
I'm scrapping this leaf blower motor. I'm going to stop trying to repair it and go for something like a chainsaw motor or a low-grade secondhand lawnmower motor.
A stickler might point out Adam's already spent his $500.
Granted, I might have spent over $500 trying to get this to work, but in the end, the full parts list for our hovercraft will still be under $500.
How did I know Adam was going to cheat?
News of Adam's indiscretion has reached Heinemann's heroes.
I think we can count on the fact that Adam's handicapped is probably Adam. And just because he gets the lawnmower doesn't mean he's actually going to make it work. We've got to design.
If Jamie's mad, he's not telling.
You have the wrong show if you want to see backbiting and sniping. On Mythbusters, we actually cooperate and enjoy working with each other.
For Heinemann's heroes, it would be all too easy to abandon the high road and stoop to cheating themselves. So that's exactly what they do. Quicker than you can say, dastardly scoundrel, they've bought and fitted another blower to help with lift.
Now, if this works the way I plan, the extra lift that we're getting from the extra leaf blower will actually also make the thrust from the 3 leaf blowers more effective.
The new improved Heinemann hoverboard is a hit and ready to race.
That's it.
That was the difference. Let's go home.
Yeah. Adam will be here all night anyway.
For his replacement motor, Adam has settled on a 1-horsepower leaf trimmer.
Dude, this is just going to plug right into the fan. I don't have to modify anything.
Again, Adam's pushing the motor's limits.
Guys ready?
A typhoon, this ain't.
The new weed whacker is actually working fine. It's whacking away. It's my propeller that is lacking some balance.
Adam's looking a little unbalanced too. His grand plan is running out of puff, and so is his team.
You got something to say? I'm thinking about it.
It's just been like one disaster after the next.
It's the beautiful thing. We put so much time and love into it, and it's not working. And I'm brokenhearted, and so is everybody else, and Adam's pouting.
There's nothing for it. They have to mount the engine and hope for the best.
You ready?
The lily pad flyer is going nowhere in a hurry, and Adam's in the fast lane to Palookaville.
I'm out. I'm out of ideas. I just ran out just a second. Oh, when a pat comes from the cameraman, you know it's really, really bad.
But then, out of desperation, a plan.
Pizza box wings. This is great. I really like it.
We're at the Icarus part of the evening, and I think you know what happened to Icarus. You know, I think we might have something there. I can only pray for one thing, and that is a total failure of Jamie's rig. Confident to the last. Let's go home.
Two words. Nasty. Ugh.
It's nasty enough inside the Hotel Royal for the Mythbusters to cover up with dust masks. There's the cleanup to be done, and Jamie's got to get the elevator working again.
Oh, it's going up. It went up.
Did the car go up?
Yep.
Well, that's a good sign. It is awfully stiff, but it is moving. So where there's movement, there can be improved movement. And I had an idea that I might be able to modify an electric vehicle that I built. It's a prototype that I have back at the shop.
Product gets to the consumer faster. It's the same electrical vehicle Jamie used in the 7-Up commercial, but extensively modified. He calls it the Life and Death Machine, or LAD for short.
I built a multi-purpose platform that has the electric motors, the gear reduction for them, speed controllers and electronics, and batteries all compacted into as tight of a unit as I could come up with, and then we put these treads on it.
Jamie sees the LAD as having applications in firefighting and law enforcement. But today, it's got to lift an elevator. A little Mythbuster love tap will ease the fit.
Okay, ready? Hey, that's it. All right. I don't think this thing is going anywhere. You want to turn it on? Let's see if we can move this car.
All right.
Remember, the elevator hasn't moved in years.
That's moving up, okay.
Jamie, that looks great.
Yeah, baby!
Going up, second floor, dust and echoes.
Couldn't be happier.
Do you have batteries for these? I think Jamie's rig is a classic Mythbusters rig. You know, we have to lift an elevator, and Jamie says, well, I've got a robot in the shop that we could modify to lift this elevator.
Bring it up about 6 more inches. Hokey pokey, top floor, man, over.
Top floor, broken fittings, pigeon poop, and all kinds of danger. Before starting work, Adam secures the car at the top of the shaft.
We can't rush it. We don't want to be, doing anything without being in total and absolute control of what's going on. It's nasty. If something goes wrong, somebody could get killed here.
Elevators are designed not to fall. Fortunately, the Mythbusters wrote the book on disabling safety systems. First up, the emergency brake.
When the balls spin around too fast, if the elevator's falling, they lift up and drive out the 2 brakes.
So what you're trying to say is you take the balls off, it don't work no more, right?
You got it. Let's see. Anticlimactically enough, I believe I've disabled the entire mechanism by removing this simple pin.
Well, okay.
They're not in free fall mode yet. As well as being cabled to a winch, elevator cars are also linked to a counterweight, which weighs about the same as the car when half full. That keeps the system in balance and the car won't fall. That counterweight just has to go.
We are cutting the cables. Stand by.
It's so much heavier than it looks.
Just the last lonely winch cables left. And with the car lowered back to the basement for safety, Adam is about to sabotage those too.
This is a 10,000-pound movie special effects quick release. Going to attach it to this really big shackle. And when we get upstairs, we'll be able to pull a pin and this whole car will drop. You know, working with these dirty cables, I can't tell you how hard it is not to touch Jamie's white shirt. I just want to touch it, make it dirty. All right.
You're ready to take tension on this, Jamie.
Okay.
The quick release is attached and holding.
Beautiful.
The star of the show has been roused from his luxury trailer. This promises to be the sorriest chapter in Buster's tragically accident-prone life. He'll ride that car down 9 floors, sitting on a pogo stick.
Okay, Buster, this won't hurt a bit.
Adam's tying off a trip line at the top of the shaft. That will pull the release on the launcher when the elevator's 6 feet from the bottom.
Looks about perfect to me. Okay, the rig is stationary. It's ready for...
The Mythbusters are ready. They've built a giant pogo stick and made a death trap out of a previously safe elevator. As Buster rises towards the penthouse, he surely knows the outhouse will follow. But could he somehow survive?
We're about to drop an elevator. I'm beside myself.
It's all gonna be over in a few seconds. And with a big boom, what else could we ask for?
I think Buster's toast, but then that's his job.
You will die in the elevator. You will die.
It is not a good omen, but it's time for the great elevator drop. Can Buster survive a 90-foot fall if he jumps at the last second? Jamie and the team are in the basement. Adam's up top, quick release in hand.
I'm terrified, I'm totally excited. All right, here we go. Ready to drop in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh my God! That blew my face back.
Man, that was intense.
That was such a rush. It was just like this enormous blast of air.
Oh no.
The overhead camera shows Buster's pogo stick launched right on cue. But did it save him?
Talk about a gust of air. No.
His head's gone.
We've got an arm. I believe this is more damage than we've ever done to Buster in one myth before.
Hey, Adam.
I think Buster feels good about a job well done, and he just hopes that we don't put his head on backwards.
By the bottom of the shaft, the elevator and Buster were falling at 53 miles an hour. Buster jumped up at 3 feet per second, or 2 miles an hour. Enough to hit the roof, but he still hit the ground at a fatal 51 miles an hour.
I don't know if we can put him back together.
Yeah, Scotty can do it.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Buster will be repaired, but if he was smashed to pieces, how did that elevator operator survive her plunge in the Empire State Building from 10 times the height? Turns out the car was a tight fit inside the shaft, so trapped a cushion of air beneath it. And the cable hanging below coiled into a kind of spring as it fell. Those 2 factors slowed the car enough to save her life. Alas, fate was not so kind to Buster.
Well, you know, you might be weightless relative to the elevator, but you and the elevator are going down at 53 miles an hour. So unless you can jump up at 53 miles per hour, you're dead.
I think we've done all that we can here. I think this myth is definitively and finally busted.
Yeah, it was fun, though.
Ocean Beach, San Francisco, a field of dreams.
Good day for kicking.
For hovercraft builders, it promises triumph. or the sand of defeat kicked in their face. But Adam has a secret weapon waiting in the wings, and he can certainly hold his own in the pre-match psych-out.
It certainly is pretty, isn't it?
I like the flame decoration on the, what is that, the garbage can, or is that the cowl?
Sorry, that would be the ducted fan cowling. Well, Jamie's rig is magnificent in its simplicity. I mean, there is not a wasted piece of wood or anything in this thing.
He's got 2 motors, and I've got 5. I'm not sure what that means, but I think it means that I'm going to go faster.
The course is 200 yards out and back across sand and water. A grueling test. But by mutual agreement, there's a last-minute concession. Team members can push, but Scotty is homesick. And there's Adam's secret weapon. This race is suddenly wide open. The Heinemann hoverboard leads out. But Team Savage has pulled a switcheroo heading into the water hazard. It floats like it flies.
I gotta lose this.
Jamie's first out of the water, but his lift engines have stalled. Fair play be damned. Adam's calling in reinforcements. At the turn, Heinemann's heroes are closing in.
Woo! We're almost there, we're doing great!
Pushing Adam's heavy craft is taking its toll. A jockey change, and fresh legs could be the difference. After doing everything in his power to fail, Adam has somehow won.
Way to come in at the last minute there. Nice. That was possibly the stupidest contest ever in the world.
The thing just filled full of sand. You know, we tested it on a shop floor, smooth concrete, worked great. I'm fairly confident we would have easily won the race, but it's a big scoop.
It may be academic, but Jamie calls a rematch just to see who would have won without assistance. On dry land, it's no contest. This time, it's all Jamie. The Heinemann hoverboard leads the lily pad flyer in its wake, and a little pride is restored.
Well, they both suck.
But what of the myth? Can you really build a levitation machine out of household items?
Well, Jamie, you know, if you ordered these plans out of a catalog to build a levitation machine out of 3 vacuum cleaner motors, we showed that you could do it, and I actually got about 6 inches of levitation.
Yeah, but in my mind, it's not really levitation. This is a hovercraft.
Well, I'd say, for the record, this myth is plausible, but totally impractical.
Yeah, plausible, but impractical.